the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. What's up, everybody? I am Gabriel Fast, and I am the wannabe critic. If this is your first time here, what I do here is I talk about a variety of subjects. For right now, we're talking about music. Today, we're going to be talking about Bring Me the Horizon's new album, Ammo, which came out earlier this year, but it's still new. So far, this is my favorite record this year. It's very diverse and it's multi-genre, and it's just a very good mixture of what the band has done in the past versus what they're trying to do now. So if you were like me, you started hearing about this record, you heard that they were working on some new music, you may have even heard Mantra, the first single that came out for the album, and you probably got really excited because you thought it was going to sound something like one of these. Yeah. It didn't really end up sounding like that because I'm just going to come out and say it. This is a pop record in every sense of the word. This is really catchy, hooky riffs to try and get you to just listen to the record as many times as possible. Whereas before, they kind of did something a little bit different. For those of you who don't know, Bring Me the Horizon is mostly touted with helping pioneer the deathcore scene, to like around 2008. They even came out with a metalcore album around that time period as well, shifting from the deathcore, and you've kind of seen a progression of them going from harder and harder stuff to kind of lightening up. So you go from the deathcore to the metalcore to the more just like, I don't want to say pop rock, but just the more hard rock with alt rock influences, I would say, in there with That's the Spirit. Their previous album, That's the Spirit, was very commercially successful. Lots of very poppy-ish songs on there. I don't want to say pop rock because that's not what it is. It had very dark pop rock influences in there in that entire album, and it really got them a lot of commercial success. So now they've even taken it a step further from that to kind of break into the more poppy scene. They have released their new album, Ammo. Ammo is probably my favorite album to date that Bring Me the Horizon has put out, just because whenever a band can go from genre to genre and jump around, yet it still sounds and feels like that band whenever you listen to that record, that to me is incredibly impressive. As a musician and as somebody who plays lots and lots of different types of music, I'm always trying to sound like the person that I'm emulating. Whereas Bring Me the Horizons, they are creators. They have crafted their songs and their albums to sound like how they want to sound. And to me, that's just incredibly impressive because I can tinker around on a song all the time and still not get it quite how I want it to sound. So let's kind of get into it now that we've kind of talked about Bring Me the Horizon and their history. To me, this album felt like the first time I heard like Pure Heroin by Lorde. It was just very different, and it had a very dark feel to it while still being incredibly down to earth and relatable. And they even talk about that in, the album and in interviews for the album. They've talked about how, they were expected to be this one thing whenever they were kind of transitioning into this one thing. It's never easy for an artist to try and transcend genres and still be just as popular. It doesn't happen that often unless you're U2. How often have we seen bands that try and change their sound and then the next album they don't do very well? Well, this is not that case because Ammo has done incredibly well. It's been incredibly good for the band. It rocks. It really does. So let's get into it. My favorite tracks off of the album would probably have to be, if I had to pick three, I'd probably pick Nihilist Blues, Wonderful Life, and I Don't Know What to Say. The whole album is about 13 songs long. It's 52 minutes long, so it'll take you around an hour to listen to it. The whole thing is very, very good, and each song doesn't necessarily lead into the next song, but each song sets up the next song to be a new experience. I heard Billie Eilish say recently that she wanted people to be able to listen to her album, which had 14 different songs on it or 13 different songs on it, and get 13 different people in there to where they could all listen to one song and at least one of them would like one song off of the record. That album sounded exactly the same the entire way through, in my opinion. So maybe that's something I could talk about at some point. But this album, I bet you could get 13 different people who like different genres of music, even techno, people who like techno and house music and things like that. Get them into this room, and I guarantee you 13 people would like at least one song off of this record, which really speaks volumes to the artistry and how much the band has put into creating this album. No doubt Oliver Sykes, lead vocalist, and keyboardist Jordan Fish were also head production on the album, so they were trying to kind of take the lead to get this album to happen, make it happen, and they've been very open with it and saying, you know, we didn't know if people were going to like this album because it is so different. And it really shows on the album. It is so incredibly diverse, and I was shocked. I did not know if I was going to like this record just because it was so different. But the more you listen to it, the more it grows on you, and the more you can't pinpoint Bring Me the Horizon to one genre at this point, because they're not just that deathcore band anymore or that metalcore band anymore. They have transcended genres. They're a rock band, they're a pop band, they have techno in their songs. I mean, I don't know if techno is the right term, but more like house music is in there. And it's just a really, really fun ride to listen to, and it's my album of the year so far. I have to kind of narrow down my picks, what I want my top 10 songs of the year to be, but several of those songs on that list are going to be off of this record just because of how much it speaks to me personally. I would say that if you like these albums right here, you would probably like this album right here. So that's my review of Ammo. I kind of tend to ramble on a little bit about how I feel, but hopefully by the end of it, everything made sense. I'm still pretty new to this. I wanted to talk about something really made an impact on me, something that I really like, so that hopefully you guys could potentially want to go form your own opinions on what has come out of this band. So do you like Bring Me the Horizon? Have you listened to the new album? You can let me know in the comment section below. And if you would, it really helps me out if you can like this video. And if you want to subscribe, you should. And if you want me to talk about something specific, let me know, because I would love to talk about what you want to talk. So as always, thank you for preparing yourselves for a plethora of potential hot takes and unpopular opinions. I am Gabriel Fast, and I will always be the wannabe critic.